Hello, friends. James Stevenson back with another episode of your exclusive subscriber only or patron only series, James and Loki's James of the Week. Let's get Loki in the chat. This is also going to be an episode of Breakfast with Loki. Let's get Loki his breakfast. Yes, he's so happy. Look at him. All right, let's get you some breakfast, buddy. There you go. There you go. You got your breakfast. So come on over and enjoy. Yes, as he gets up and walks over. So we're now a couple of weeks into the new year. I'm stalling, trying to get you as much Loki breakfast action as I can right now. Go ahead and eat, buddy. Go ahead and eat. You got food here. Here, have a kibble. Have a kibble, buddy. And just set it right there on your palm. Oh, you don't know what to think? All right. Well, you can come over and enjoy your breakfast whenever you want. While he's thinking it over, you can keep an eye on Loki and the Loki's bed cam. I'll make sure to keep him in the shot. That way. Maybe I'll tilt that back just a little bit, get the logo off of his head. Okay, so you'll see what he's up to there. This was the last tweet that we looked at last week. I'm just going to go through all the tweets that I have liked over the past week and talk about why I liked them as I center myself in the shot here. Let's scroll on up and see what was the next tweet that I liked. It came from Pedro Teixeira, MD, PhD, at vote_ for Pedro. If we can prevent just one Tesla shoveling, today will have been a victory. Yeah, this is that same story we were talking about last week. Somebody caught a couple of nitwits using a metal shovel to scrape ice and snow off of their Tesla. They were also apparently pouring boiling water or hot water on the car to get the ice off of it. Folks, just defrost the car, please. Just go to your app, use the defrost function on there, and do that instead. He had previously said cold weather notification providing education via phone and within the UI would be a good way to provide just-in-time education. I tried to get that suggestion in front of Elon as Loki chomps down on that one kibble I gave him. All right, there's another one, buddy. Okay, maybe that'll get him going and he'll come over and eat. So I replied, sounds like a great idea to me. Blast a reminder alert to Teslas in any regions where it's snowing or icing. What do you think, Elon Musk? I mean, Tesla works too hard on paint for even one uninformed Tesla owner to give theirs the shovel treatment, right? If we can prevent just one Tesla shoveling, today will have been a victory. Yeah, listen to this. That is the sound of paint being removed from the rear of that Tesla by a metal shovel. Folks, don't do that. All right, so I'll hit the back button here and scroll on up to the next tweet that I liked. Elon replied to "What's up, Frank?" So let's get the context here. Looks like it's important. My mother just told me the Italian news stations are repeating nonstop that Elon Musk is doing mushrooms, cocaine, and all sorts of other drugs. Time to sue them. Elon replied while simultaneously leading Tesla to be the world's most valuable car company. Model Y is the best-selling vehicle on Earth, and SpaceX to be the most valuable space company. 80% of all payload to orbit last year. Whatever I'm doing, I should obviously keep doing it. Yeah. Elon apparently is on all the drugs, but still managing, 4 or 5 successful companies, depending on how you count them. Yep, so that's those two tweets that we just saw. Here's one from JPR007 at JPR007. The quality of the video cameras that SpaceX now has on these Falcon 9 rockets is amazing. Such great views that show us what it is really like on these vehicles. Onboard view from Falcon 9's flight to space and back during small rideshare mission. And I'll let more of this video play so you can take in the wonder if you don't want to have to go track down this video from SpaceX, of the booster rocket, which is what this camera is attached to, boosting its payload up to a higher orbit. So the second stage kept going and blasted that payload into whatever its proper orbit was supposed to be, while the booster rocket that got it up off the ground and moving in the right direction detached from it, turned around, did a reverse fire of the rocket, and comes right back to the same launch pad where it just left. Yeah, this is amazing work by SpaceX. It's not new, but it is incredible with these high-resolution videos to see this booster rocket come right back. Now, this video is sped up a little bit, but still, right back onto its landing zone. So that's pretty great. X marks the spot, and that booster came right back. Okay, next tweet from the Short Shorts historian at Tesla historian, almost always features in this video weekly. This day in Tesla Q history, 3 tweets from 5 years ago about Giga Shanghai. This one from Dopey at Dope007, which we got 2 007s here. This photo sums hashtag Tesla up, one proud flag flying over a desolate wasteland, the place where promises go to die. Yeah, Giga Shanghai. Famously, Tesla Q mistook this equipment here for cranes. Those are not cranes. Those are diggers to put down posts. So that's what stage you're at when you have a mud field with some digging going on, trying to find bedrock to put your foundation on top of. Here's one from Halatimo. This one did abandon Tesla Q. I haven't seen a thing from V. Ada Kotempa in forever. So, hashtag Tesla Q, hashtag Tesla. The day after the supposed Chinese Tesla factory is completed, there will be competitors named Resla, Sesla, Vesla, and Mesla making clones of Teslas, and most workers have quit. They do not give two shakes of a lamb's tail about some Tesla mission and NDAs and all that. And here's one from Paul. This is Paul Bazan. We know because he was quoted in an article by Russ Mitchell, fellow Tesla Q member. I'm not doxing him. The keeper of the block list. If you're blocked by the block list, you have Paul Bazan to thank for your predicament. He stuck a shovel in some mud, he has no money to build the factory, and has in fact given guidance for flat capital spending. Already at basement levels, he lined up cranes in a swamp. He's a fraud. China GF is a fraud right in front of your big, beautiful eyes, said Paul. Well, Paul was wrong about that prediction, so good tweet there from the Short Shorts historian reminding us these are the same jokers who today say Tesla is doomed. They were saying the same thing 5 years ago. Here's one from Larry Goldberg at Tesla Larry. How can unrealized gains be a source of income? What part of unrealized do these dopes not understand? Yeah, you took your money, you put it into an investment, and you haven't taken any of that money out. So how can you be taxed on that? Retweeting Americans for Tax Fairness, breaking billionaires and centimillionaires held $8.5 trillion in untaxed, unrealized capital gains in 2022. Unrealized gains are the largest source of income for the ultra-rich. Well, hold on. They're not, though. Completely untaxed under our tax code. Illiteracy rampant on Twitter. But luckily, free speech means we can reply to the illiteracy and say, hey, look up what unrealized means. It's not a source of income. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt with this dope saying, we've rented this Tesla Model W.
Model W, and we have out...
Oh, I timed it exactly right to get you to hear the only second that was worth watching from that video clip. Tesla Model W. That's the level of research that went into that on-site field report from that guy. Here's one from Car Dealership Guy at Guy Dealership. You can't make this up. Tesla ended 2023 at exactly 4.20% market share. Source, Kelly Blue Book. Yeah, so I had to go find this thing, and then I made some charts out of it. The only years that are shown on this chart are 2022 and 2023, but I had 2021 and 2015. So I did comparisons of 2023 against 2021, which was a more comparable year. 2022 was a down year, so that's why you're seeing so many positives here in this column for how every one of these automakers beat 2022. Well, yeah, less than 14 million cars were sold in the US in 2022. That's a pretty terrible year. It was common for there to be 17 million or more vehicles sold in the US not that long ago. As Loki sits up in bed, so I'm going to try and make this camera keep him in the frame a little bit better. Buddy, eat your food. Eat your food, buddy. Check it out. You got food here you can eat. Okay. We'll see if he wants to do that or not. So I'll close out of here. We'll probably see some of those charts before this video ends. Here's one from Elon Musk, famously born 69 days after 420. So I like that tweet. 6.9% is the next milestone, obviously. He replied to Sawyer Merritt. Pretty funny. And then we have an LMAOO here from Elon. Replying to Mark Ruffalo retweeting fake photos of Trump on Epstein's jet and blames Elon Musk. Wait, what? How could Elon let me spread misinformation like this? Absolutely wild take. I had to reply by making the meme. Mark Ruffalo riding along on his bicycle decides to post misinformation on X, crashes, and then says, "Stupid Elon." So I got a bunch of likes on that when Elon replied, "He's not great at internalizing responsibility." So we'll scroll on up here. That's those tweets we just saw. Here's one from Benamortasia at Benamortasia666. My first reaction was, do they really want you to give them the name again? But that is a username changer. Tell them its ID 97880101. It changed the username to Tesla Boomer Mama to impersonate Tesla Boomer Mama. So I did report them. What's he replying to here? Well, it's this thread that he began by saying, hey, here's this person who changed from impersonating me to impersonating Alexandra. So I said reported, and then I said, here's how X support emailed me about it. They said, in order for us to process your report, please reply to this email with the exact spelling of the username you're reporting. You can either provide the exact username or a link to the user's profile page. Please note that if a user deletes their account or changes their username, you'll see a sorry that page doesn't exist message when you try to view the account. So this is how impersonators are fooling X. They shouldn't be able to fool X this way. As Benamortasia points out, the user ID is still the same. So they should just be referencing the user ID, same as Benamortasia is, to figure out what their old and new handles are, and getting rid of them that way. You can't see that for sure. It's going to be too small on your screen. But I like that tweet. Here's one from Elon Alerts at Elon_alerts. Elon Musk liked a post from James Stevenson. So this one says, now that you mention it, North America plus the United Nations would be the best free trade agreement in the history of the world. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're making me uncomfortable-ish, Elon. Replying to this thread, begun by Xavi Ruiz, these three regions comprise 50% of world GDP. It's kind of a fun little map here. You don't even need California in it to get to 50% GDP. I guess they got GDP by state for the US and just picked the eastern seaboard plus Missouri plus Texas and Louisiana. Then they've got not all of Europe either. They're excluding Spain and Portugal and half of Italy. What? I don't understand this very well. Just the east coast of China, which is where the biggest cities are, South Korea, and most of Japan is all you need to account for 50% of the world's GDP. Gus Jimenez said, nice, but it does not tell the whole picture. Just North America, USA, Canada, and Mexico represent a little less than 1/3 of global GDP. Elon replied, Canada, USA, Mexico, CUMFTA, or something like that. So that's where I got my idea for my fun, uncomfortable-ish pun. Up we go to Steven Spencer at @SSpencer_SMB. If the majority of consumers aren't aware that Teslas are affordable, this strategy doesn't work, and the data suggests most are unaware. James did some posts/videos on this topic. Hopefully this year they will market to the millions who have no clue. Replying to a long thread here, even longer than it first appeared. Begun by Gary Black. I'm not going to read you through this entire thread, but I will let you pause and read it if you want as I go through. We're talking about pricing versus advertising, right? Something like that. This debate has been raging for a long time. If it were brand new, I would probably let you read all of these. A lot of good thoughts from a lot of smart people in this thread. And I replied with the link to Elon saying, I said we would advertise, we are doing so at small scale and will do so at larger scale as we figure out what works best, when he replied to my tweet from October 22nd, where I laid out the case in a long tweet. If you didn't see it, I'll let you read it here if you want to pause and read through it. Just saying, hey, is there a way to make this point very clear that there's this product desirability need for somebody to buy a Tesla? They have to want to buy a Tesla. They have to be able to afford it, but they also need to be aware that they can afford it. So this awareness here is awareness of affordability, because this little overlap here are the people who are buying Teslas today, and this green section are the people who would be buying Teslas if they were aware they could afford one. This is the segment of the population Tesla needs to advertise to, people who don't know they can afford to buy a Tesla, and who would buy one if they knew. So I'll back out of here, and I'll back out of here, and I'll keep scrolling up. There we go. To this next tweet that I liked from K10 at Kristen Netton, getting on X today is like drinking from a fire hydrant. She got 1,000 likes on that. There was a lot to read on X that day, January 8th. Here's one from Farzad at Farziness. 55% of Ford's 2023 EV sales are sitting on dealer lots. Ford sold 24,000 F-150 Lightnings and 40,771 Mustang Mach-E's to dealers in 2023. Per My Car Edge, there are 12,869 new F-150 Lightning and 22,540 new Mach-E's available for sale on dealer lots. More than half of what Ford sold from their EV lineup hasn't been purchased by an end consumer yet. So just one of the differences between Tesla and legacies when they sell EVs, you have to watch their EV sales numbers carefully, because the company is going to give you their wholesale sales, their sales to dealerships, which doesn't tell you anything about how retail sales are doing, sales to end customers. And there can be significant differences between the two as the supply chain, or the, well, yeah, I guess the supply of new vehicles takes time to flush out. Here's one from Dylan Loomis. It's time everyone stops referring to hybrid vehicles as electric cars. If the car has a combustion engine in it, it does not deserve to be called an electric car. Quit putting hybrids in the same category as actual electric vehicles, full BEV. They're not the same. So I like that tweet. Good tweet. From @DylanLoomis22. Follow him if you don't already. Here's one from Nicholas at Nicholas Nilso 14. EV or gas, what pollutes more? This is a 2-year-old video, but it's really good, and you've probably seen it, but it is so good, you have to see it again or share it with some frenemies when you try to explain why EV wins over gas-powered vehicles any way you count. With a gas lover, enjoy. If you recognize the voice, it comes from Robert at Fully Charged Show. That's Robert Llewellyn. And the data and animation comes from Gas Troll. All right. So I retweeted this video myself. Andreas X at eraz00r replied to it, thanks for sharing, worth a bookmark. This is how I retweeted it. You've heard the long tailpipe theory. EVs are only zero emissions while driving. They're not clean if you recharge them from a dirty power plant. Well, let's actually run the numbers. And then I left a link to the YouTube video for those who would prefer to watch it there. And I noted Robert Llewellyn, I guess, doesn't have a Twitter account anymore. He deleted his Twitter account, I guess. But the Fully Charged Show still has an account, and Gas Troll has an account. And I credited Nicholas for sharing the video, which I had not seen. So even though it was an old video, I had never seen it before retweeting it out. And it got a ton of likes and retweets. Elon said creator rewards will increase significantly this year. I think what he means by that is that a lot more people are going to become eligible for ad revenue sharing than currently are on X. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. News, Honda announced today all its future EVs will have this new Honda logo. So he got a lot of likes on that. It doesn't look very different from the current or old Honda logo, I don't think. And I replied, okay, but now that that's decided, they're going to start working on EVs people want to buy, right? Are they going to make the EVs compelling? Yes or no? Because the logo is like one of the least important things to buyers. They want to know, does it have good range? Is it safe? Is it efficient? Does it fit my use case? All of those questions need to be answered if you're designing an EV. Here's one from executive producer of this program, Bradford Ferguson, owner of Rebellionaire.com, where I got my badge. He kindly supports me as an executive producer and gives me my Rebellionaire badge. Breaking, Fremont is beginning to switch to producing Model 3 Highland this week. Analysis, Model 3 Highland will allow Tesla to charge more for Model 3 in the US while lowering costs. Win-win, lower costs plus higher revenues boost profits, but there may be some spin-up costs. All right, so early in the cycle, yeah, maybe there's more cost than usual. Hopefully not too bad. Retweeting Nick Cruz Patain, refreshed Model 3 image is now being shown when scheduling a demo drive. So you can tell by the headlights that this is a refreshed Model 3, not the old Model 3. That's the easiest way to tell at a glance if you're looking at the front of a Model 3, whether it's the old style or the new Highland style. Elon did confirm that Highland was never a real name for that project, which is kind of funny because it's been getting called Model 3 Highland for a long time in the community. Here's one from Remy Cadane. Big news for me, I left Tesla. I've been very fortunate to be part of the Autopilot and Optimus teams. 5 years ago, I started as an intern with Andre Kaparthy. Witnessing the impressive achievements of a small team, at this time I improved the neural backbone, a fundamental module supporting all the networks running on the cars. It was mind-blowing to think that my little piece of code was running on so many of these robots on wheels. Returning to Silicon Valley, the team had grown up. Everything was more optimized and scaled up. My main focus was on the auto-labeling neural networks to consistently improve our data set with high-quality and diverse 3D annotated data. Auto-labeling Tesla's massive fleets is a key advantage over other self-driving efforts. Later, I joined the Optimus team, playing a crucial role in building the manipulation network. It felt totally unreal to witness these humanoid robots reaching human-like behaviors. Before bidding farewell, I had the chance to pass on my tribal knowledge to the next generation of talented engineers. What I'll miss the most is all the wonderful friends I met during this journey. With them on board, I'm confident that the future will arrive sooner than expected. Now it's time for a break before the next big thing in Paris. Showing end-to-end manipulation images to joint angles. This humanoid robot here that Remy worked on. So great tweet there from Remy. And if you look through the replies, lots of replies from other folks who worked with him at Tesla. So if you just want to follow a bunch of folks who work on the Optimus robot, you can find a lot of them in this thread to go follow. So just a little tip there, if that's what you want, is more tweets about Optimus. Go follow those folks who replied and said it was great working with you, Remy. Here's one from K10, Kristen Netton, me versus my neighbors. I never figured out what she meant by me versus my neighbors. But it's a cool video of a matte black Cybertruck. Which may be the only matte black Cybertruck in the world. Won't be for long, though. I imagine most people aren't going to want to wrap their Cybertruck by putting a softer, more fragile coating over one of the hardest and hardiest surfaces any vehicle has ever been made from. Ultra hard, cold rolled stainless steel 30X. Here's one from Tesla. Upgraded Model 3 is now available in North America. So Bradford called it a day before Tesla announced the Model 3 Highland, or the refreshed Model 3. Then Tesla announced it. So there you go. All the new stuff looking very similar to the one that China has been producing for a few months now. Here's another one from Elon Alerts. Elon Musk will like to post from James Stevenson. That's me. Which post? This one that said over the past 2 years, Tesla grew its U.S. sales by a percentage 5 times greater than the second place competitor, which you can see on this little chart here that I made. Yeah, 86% growth over the past 2 years is way more than any other company had. Mostly I would call this flat, right? You know, the worst 3 were double-digit declines. The best 3 were double-digit increases. And then you got, you know, a bunch of folks that didn't change very much in the middle. So yeah, GM also up by a commendable amount to 17%. That may have been, they still had chip shortage challenges in 2021 that were limiting their production. So I'll back out of here and keep scrolling up. Here's a tweet I liked from Elon Musk, at Elon Musk. Credit to the Tesla team. He retweeted this one the following day. I made a couple of new charts and tweeted those out here. Let's take a look at these, or this tweet that Elon retweeted. Folks, I do not get a lot of retweets from Elon Musk, but when I do, I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to hit the threshold of 15 million views over 3 months to remain eligible for ad revenue sharing for a while. It's been pretty close a few times. I've been just below 15 million with only a few days left to go in the period before putting out some tweets that got me over the hump to stay eligible. Over the past 8 years, U.S. light vehicle sales declined by more than 2 million. GM, Ford, Stellantis, and Nissan Mitsubishi car sales each fell by more than 500,000. So we've got U.S. light vehicle sales charted here, 2015 to 2023. You can see they're ordered from left to right in the order of sales in 2015. So Tesla sold only 22,000 vehicles in 2015, back when they were only selling Model S. I think Model X didn't start getting sold until maybe late 2015. There sure weren't very many Model X's in that number. But GM is down, Ford's down, Toyota's down, Stellantis is down, Nissan Mitsubishi is way down, Honda is down, Hyundai Kia is up, and they're making good EVs. I don't think that's a coincidence. Subaru up a little from a lower number. VW up a little from a lower number. BMW, Daimler, Mazda, all basically flat. Volvo up some from a real tiny number. I don't know why their number was so small in 2015. There could have been some problem that year specifically with Volvo. And then look at Tesla. Up, 600,000 vehicles from 2015. Nobody else close to that. So I'll X out of here and keep scrolling down. Only one manufacturer grew sales by more than 500,000, Tesla. So you can see Nissan, Mitsubishi, Stellantis, Ford, and GM all down by more than 500,000. Only one automaker up by more than 500,000. That's Tesla. Hyundai, Kia up about 250,000. Toyota and Honda both down about 250,000. And everybody else not very different from their sales 8 years ago. And that's that tweet. And I tagged all those companies on it, cash tagged. And I got 9.2 million views on this tweet. It helps a little bit when Elon Musk retweets you. Here's one from Andy Sly, at Sly, a pretty cool handle on X. The legacy Tesla Model 3 is officially dead. This car made Tesla a mainstream success, but it also changed my life. Here's how my Model 3 made me a millionaire and 10x my net worth in just a few years. In 2016, Andy was living in a one-bedroom apartment in the middle of nowhere, had 160 grand to his name, and saving money for years from my day job and side businesses. Had just entered my 7th year of commuting and was sick of buying gas, so on March 31st, 2016, I decided to put down $1,000 to reserve a never-before-seen electric vehicle. 2018, I finally get my Model 3 after 2 years of waiting. There's Andy and his wife, and their Tesla Model 3 that he made a bunch of videos about since then. Nobody else in my area had one as far as I knew. There weren't many YouTube videos that covered the Model 3 in depth, so I decided to make my own. They got some traction, so I made more. By the end of the year, I had become the world's #1 Tesla referrer, earning some amazing rewards, including 2 Founder Series Tesla Roadsters yet to be produced still. By this time, my Tesla Model 3 had become a big part of my YouTube channel. My referral rewards let me attend my first ever SpaceX rocket launch and the Model Y unveil event. Later in the year, I got a media pass to cover the Cybertruck unveil event. I continued making Tesla videos. 2020 to now, my channel has over 300 total videos, mostly Tesla related. In 2022, I was able to get the best Mother's Day gift for my wife, a brand new Model Y. The total profit I've made on the side, mostly from YouTube, is exactly 10 times my net worth when I first got my Model 3. So, pretty cool to see Andy Sly becoming a millionaire on the back of so many great Tesla videos. Go watch his videos if you haven't seen them. Thanks to my Model 3, I've been able to have a ton of fun making videos about an exciting product so many of you are interested in. I'm grateful for all of you who have watched my videos over the years. I can't wait to give you more as we head into an exciting year of Tesla and EVs. So, great tweet there from Andy. The next tweet that I liked came from Holmar's Catalog at Holmar's blog. Model 3 pricing was announced at $35,000 for 220 miles of range in 2016. Adjusted for inflation, that's $43,779 today, but you can buy the redesigned Model 3 with 273 miles of range on the base for just $38,990. The dream of the $35,000 electric car came true. Yeah, there you go. That's what the inflation calculation says. So great tweet there from Holmars. Here's one from Mark Anthony at Musk Stay Calm. Hang in there, Mark. If you're watching this video right now, you got a lot of people supporting you as you battle cancer. I am not going to read this tweet to everybody, but you can pause it and read through it if you want. Hang in there, Mark. Stay strong and fight that cancer. Just say no to cancer. Do what your doctors say, and we'll all get through it together. The next tweet came from Bradford Ferguson, another one from Bradford. Tesla is making the right move by emphasizing the lease option for Model 3 on its website. The $7,500 tax credit can be applied against the lease for the Model 3s that otherwise lost the $7,500 tax credit. Watch to learn more. Yes, there's a video he's retweeting here from the Rebellionaire account. There is a Rebellionaire account if you didn't know. Is it cheaper to lease or buy the new Model 3? Join Matt Chasm Matt in this quick breakdown of the options and how Tesla is taking advantage of the hashtag EV tax credit. So good short video here from Matt you can go check out if you want that I liked. And the last tweet that I liked for this week came from Alexandra Mertz, replying to Neil underscore X10. So we got kind of a bull debate here going on. So here's what Neil X had to say. If you want to read through this, just some observations by a Tesla Long about some things that may have been weighing on Tesla stock price over the past couple of years. Just some points that he made. I liked the reply from Alexandra more. I mean, they both made good points, but I'll read you these. Elon is how he is. Take it or walk. There is no in between. All right, so a lot of people don't like this argument. Take Elon or leave it. But Elon's probably not going to change a lot, right? He's guided by internal principles that motivate him, and people have been critical of those for a long, long time on big stuff, big risks that Elon was taking, and he went ahead and did it anyway, despite the criticism. And some of those giant risks that he took paid off in huge ways that have made him the wealthiest person alive. So you can't just tell Elon, hey, you're taking a risk doing this. He doesn't care that it's risky what he's doing. He has principles. It's the principle of the matter. And one of those is free speech, and Elon is going to say what he wants, I think. Affordability is key. Add Chinese competition. Hertz selling 661 Tesla EVs with high mileage while they sell 19,339 from other brands is a joke to be even mentioned. So there was a lot of FUD about Hertz selling Teslas. Well, how did they get so many miles on them in the first place, right? If these cars have 90,000 miles or 100,000 miles or whatever, clearly there was demand for those vehicles when Hertz bought them and then put 90,000 renter miles on them or whatever. And they're selling way more vehicles from other brands. Factory downtime will happen and is no big deal. Let's see whether this is general European supply chain issue and Tesla is just as ever so often the first one to sense and act. Tesla has recruited a team. They are working on this, and you can continue to hammer the same things over and over again. They will do it at their rhythm. So what was new in your message? And if there was nothing, why post it? And that's the last tweet that I liked from this week. So with that, I will check back in with Loki and the Loki's bed cam. Maybe I should have moved this camera back over closer to Loki so you could see him better. Maybe I'll leave this camera in tight on Loki for my future videos, as he has opted to eat his breakfast later. And with that, I will say don't forget to click like on this video if you liked this video. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you being behind me. That gives me extra motivation to make extra videos every week for you, dear viewer, dear subscriber, dear patron. And a special shout out to my two executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you next week.